Gentlemen, how are we? Ladies and gentlemen, listeners, welcome to the Leg Up Australia podcast.
Here we go, nepotism! From last nepotism, nosed out within the law. Jimmy Star, Jolly Star late. It's Briasa in front. Jimmy Star levels up. Jimmy takes the shot and won the All-Age Stakes. That is unbelievable!
Cracking end to the Autumn Racing Carnival. Here we are. Bit of a drag now.
Yeah, it falls off a cliff though this weekend in Sydney. It's just there's no black type races, just all benchmark 70s and 100s. But what a carnival. I reckon one of the best Sydney Autumn Carnivals we've had for a while. Good tracks, sunshine. It was a nice change up from the last few years.
I wouldn't disagree. I think it's been great.
Your pockets are very full.
They are full. It was a good carnival. It's always helpful having good tracks to play with. It makes the form stand up and be more consistent. It's easier to bet into.
Yeah.
It was really good. There were some great performances as well. So
a
few stars were born.
Yeah, we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot over the Autumn Carnival, and we're going to go through some of those today as we wrap up the Autumn Carnival series. We're going to take a little break for a couple of weeks after this and be back ready for winter.
Oh, Queensland
He's
Carnival
got his
time.
winter jumper on.
Yeah. It was cold.
He's in winter.
He is ready.
I'm ready.
Unfortunately, we're going to miss two good meetings, Hawkesbury and Scone.
When? Next
They're
week?
two of my favourites.
Next week and the week after?
I think they're
They're
next
usually
couple
around
of
this time
weeks-ish.
because like Scone's always a nice little lead up into
I'll have to have a look into it.
Day.
But yeah, I think they might be next week and the week after. But I could be wrong. They could be next week, and we might catch Scone.
Potentially.
Might be 2 weeks after.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
sure.
reckon we catch
Scone-
Hawkesbury on Doomben 10,000 Day.
I was going to say Scone's 10,000 day because I can remember it was Magic Round and it was the day that the Bostonian won the 10,000 and Trekking won like the Luskin Star at Scone on the same day.
I can find out for us.
Life
So.
is good, isn't it?
Oh, you can't beat it.
But we need
sometimes.
a little freshen up and then we'll get back into it. But yeah, huge Autumn Carnival. It's been plenty to dissect, which is great for content and great for people that have a podcast. But BJ, I feel like you're really hitting the big races this year as well. You were on.
Yeah, I'm always on.
I didn't mean to sound surprised.
No
didn't
shock,
mean to
but-
come out like that.
I think they were pretty straightforward, most of them,
Yeah,
in
there
regards
were,
to like the group ones and something.
there were a lot
that.
of like sort of tap-in jobs, I reckon. Like Via Sistina won 3 of them, Fangirl, Treasure of the Moment, Lady Shenandoah. There was a few like
day 2 of the championships played out exactly how.
the punters wanted and
Well, before we
Everyone
get into
expected
well, how
it
about
to.
we do that now? What about if we do our Sydney Autumn highlights from the season? Do you want to start? BJ, do you want to keep going down that track? What was your highlight from the Autumn Carnival?
My highlight from the Autumn Carnival was definitely Infancy winning the last race on my birthday. So $51. That was a fill up. That's it.
That's hard to beat, really. A birthday
That's mine too.
fill up. That's yours as well. It's probably mine, to be fair.
It's very easy.
I put
It's
other ones in there because I knew.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were going to go there.
Why?
I don't know.
I was expecting Mahuna for you.
Same. So Mahuna. So I've got Mahuna, Infancy, and Via Sistina just because loved watching that horse, loved the way she did it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you'd start there.
No, that's
Hard not to-
just a very easy one
Yeah.
for me. Yeah, like you don't back 50-1 winners every weekend. You don't back 50-1 winners every Autumn Carnival, especially when you have one bet in the race as well. So, and tipped
Yeah.
it to the world.
And Mahuna was good too.
She was good, but
It was good.
It was
she
a good tip.
$14 or $12 or something like that.
Yeah. Mine,
It's hard when you're tipping the slipper winner at $12.
She was good. Like I don't think she's the top
two,
2-year-old either. So I think we got her. At
Yeah,
the right
no,
time.
I mean our highlights. I loved Mahuna for us together as well.
That was good.
Like that was one that we're all.
there was another, Aliana was another one that was like that. She was obviously a lot shorter, but
Yeah.
Blake and I were sitting on some good overs.
Yeah.
That was good.
futures-wise.
That was a good result.
And we
That was a
were-
good day.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if we were all in the office for infancy.
Infancy,
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't tip many 50-1 shots, and like that was my birthday, so I was out of the office. I just wish that I had have recorded that. That's a regret.
You needed the like the Bjorn Baker watching the Magic Millions winner sort of vibe.
Need Kayla to
like
record
Kayla
ya.
recording you watching it on your phone in the back of the Uber.
Yeah. Well, it's just a shame that is we've hardly missed any races.
Yeah.
Of me pointing them out on the screen, and that was one that
Where did you watch it?
I watched it in the lobby of the hotel we were staying at.
You just walk straight to the counter and just upgrade the room.
No,
It was a surprise.
High
Whatever
five
room
to
she's
Bellboy.
got, upgrade it.
we're all right. You can't
can't go
upgrade
any
the
higher.
penthouse.
So you'll be on the helipad.
It's a blow up mattress up
I'm
there
glad
for
we
you.
all. Yeah. Other than infancy, did you have one, Nick?
Mine was probably the 3-year-old fillies, like that whole sort of spectacle. I think like how they just kept almost matching motors and sort of going, well, I can do one better than you. Like it sort of started off Lady Shenandoah in that surround, and then she beat the older horses in the Coolmore, and then Treasure of the Moment unbeaten right through the autumn in 2 states.
And
So
tough too.
tough. Like
ones, yeah.
she's sort of like probably one of my favourite horses at the moment.
Yeah.
Like there's been no betting propositions, but she's just exciting. Autumn Glow, like we didn't really get to see much of her, unfortunately. And there was another one too, wasn't there? Aliana in the Derby.
Aliana,
So
yeah.
like I think like for me it was kind of like, geez, we've got a bit of a good future in store, I reckon.
Well, look, I think the crop of horses that we're dealing with now is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously we had multiple Group 1 winners, but the list of maiden Group 1 winners, Private Harry, Briassa, Jimmy Star, Gringotts, Aliana, Mahuna, Vinrock, and Nepotism on the weekend. Like, you know,
Yeah.
where's the ceiling for those guys as well? Like it's...
Who would know? It makes for like exciting. Like I feel like last spring it was kind of like the Everest. It's not a great addition. It's our worst crop yet. But we'll talk about like the sprinting scene a little bit later in the show. But like I feel like this Everest we're a long way out, but all signs pointing to it being an absolute cracker. Same for like even your Cox Plates, like those fillies that we spoke about. Via Sistina, she'll be there again, no doubt. It's pretty exciting. I read Steffi Magnetica. King Charles, and then potentially Cox Plate. That's where they're looking. So could be a great spring.
I know we're focused now on the Winter Carnival, and that's where everything goes for us in this show. But when we sit down and we strategize what that season of the podcast looks like for spring, I think it's going to be electric.
Yeah, no doubt. And of course, we have to reserve judgment until we see the Stradbroke winner. Naturally, but
I think Blake was just about to say that.
to say the same
Yeah.
thing. He leant into the mic to speak, and then I said that, and he's like, "Oh, it's already been said."
What? Bella Nipotina. She won a Group 1.
She won 2. She won the 10,000.
Did she win the Stradbroke?
No, she ran second to
in the
Steffi.
Stradbroke.
Then she won the Tiara.
Oh, and Steffi won the
Yeah.
Stradbroke. So, and what are the other horses that have gone like Stradbroke, Everest?
Think about it. The year
Think
before.
about it. Okay, that's what I was missing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I think so. And then the year before that, Private Eye, I think, ran second in both. Second in the Stradbroke, second in the Everest. Or maybe it was
Who won Stradbroke 2 years back?
2 years back was Think About It. The year before that was Alligator Blood.
Alligator Blood, okay.
Yeah. And then I reckon it was like Tofane the year before that.
it's been a good lead up for the Everest.
It has been.
Before we move on, next 3 weeks are Hawkesbury, Gosford, and Scone.
So
So
when's
Scone's
Hawkesbury?
back.
Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gosford, and then Scone.
Yeah.
Be good.
Scone's first week back.
Scone will be first week back for the
on
podcast. Beautiful.
Wow. That'll be a 3.
That will be good. I like that Scone meeting.
Scone 1 year, we have to go.
Yeah.
Hawkesbury meeting
go.
is good. Gosford, not so much.
What is that like?
The coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the Hawkesbury? The Gold Cup.
Yeah. Hawkesbury Guineas.
Guineas, Gold
It'll
Cup.
be a great day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coast. Is that a Friday?
No,
No, it's a
Scone's
Saturday.
Friday, Saturday.
Scones Friday, Saturday. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Who is Australia's best sprinter? This is a poll that we put out on our free Discord group. Now, I don't know if the potty listeners know this, but can we ensure that we have this in the show notes, a link to our free Discord? So if you're a 39-year-old like me listening going, what the fuck's Discord? It's like a social media app for chatting.
It's like a group chat.
I couldn't have sounded older when I fucking explained
Facebook.
that.
It's like Facebook Messenger.
It's where gamers chat, but you can do a lot of stuff in there, and we've got members only in there. So obviously behind the paywall, you can get in there, and it's phenomenal. It's like having our own app.
Yeah.
For members only, which is great. But we have opened up a free text channel in there for people to put their tips in there, post their tips and slips. So yeah, if
Plenty
hit
of
the
banter
link,
in there.
Yeah, it's good. It's going good.
We've got more than 1,000 in there now. So it's really sort of spiked in the past.
Yeah.
Well, since we really opened it up to everyone. Like it's been pretty quick. I reckon there was about 750 this time last week. So
Yeah.
it's growing.
And I think the good thing about it is we've always got a mod on. So if anyone wants to be in there and act like a,
bit of
they
a
just get
tosser.
flicked.
They just can.
You can put like videos on when you're being someone
Yeah.
and it comes up with you like squashing them or something.
I don't like when people call me a flog, so maybe
Who
those
calls you a
people.
flog?
Oh, they call me flog on social media sometimes. It's a popular word apparently.
It is, apparently, yeah.
But yeah, there's
Who cares about
if
people in
they
the comments?
if you want to be a flog, then we'll kick you out.
Yeah.
You've been on a bit of a banning spree, I've noticed.
Not
Or maybe
really.
two.
Two people.
Two people, but 2 in 2
That's a
days.
spree.
That's a spree.
It's great.
2 out of 1,100.
Or
Not
more,
too
and
bad.
it's a massacre. Banning them. No, they're really good in there. I
Plenty
do
of winners in
have
there
a
too.
chuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys are good. We've got a lot of foundation members in there. Crawls fires up, and so yeah. Sorry, I'm going to get back to Australia's best friend, but yeah, join the Discord. We put it up for vote in the Discord group chat. Australia's best sprinter. Do you guys want to guess who was on top?
Well, don't ask me. 'cause
I
know.
saw.
Oh, you
I
know.
also saw.
Oh,
So
okay. I'll
Yeah.
guess.
I don't think they're right.
No,
No,
I disagree.
okay. So I'll read out the results and then we can kind of dissect it. So
Sure.
Private Harry was on top with 33% of the votes. Jimmy Starr had 24% of the votes. Briasa, 20% of the votes. Overpass with 16%.
Jeez.
Jolie Starr with 4% and Giga Kick with 2%.
How did Overpass even get in there?
I just thought Sam would want him there. No, well, I thought
Giga Kick.
2 quackers, 2 winner bottoms. Like,
Are we talking about like Australia's best sprinter currently?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Giga Kick had a long
Sydney
time off
Stakes win.
and- yeah. So he's got to be there. Giga Kick's won an Everest and run second in the last Everest.
Overpass doesn't have to be there. Not that he's not a great horse. I would love to own him. I would adore to own him.
This is blasphemy on the eve of the
The
quokka.
But
You
I
can't
don't
be potting
he's
Overpass.
definitely not in that
King of the
conversation. And
West.
he definitely doesn't
Would
deserve
you?
to get
Is
16%
there one
of the
that
votes.
like you think has
Who's not
genuinely
there?
been missed out of that, or you think the top 4 horses voted for is about right?
I didn't.
Jimmy
Private
Starr,
Harry,
Private-
Jimmy Starr, Briasa, Overpass, Jolie Starr. Jolie Starr was a little bit 4% of the votes.
Yeah, she's won a Newmarket.
Is Lady Shenandoah in there?
No, because I didn't know what to do with her. I was thinking more sprinter miler, but yeah, you could easily make the case. Like she hasn't won anything over 1,200 as a Group 1. She's been 1,400 in a mile. So
I'd be surprised if she's not in the Everest field next year.
yeah, I agree.
I have to have a look at the market. But yeah, go on, Woodhead. Give us the remainder of the. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's the
That's it.
6 that are in there.
Overpass was 16%.
16%, yeah. So 4 in voting.
Okay.
Who would you have as your top 3 in order?
Well, I think Briasa's number 1. He's lightly raced. He's a weight for age Group 1 winner. He was every bit as good. He was equal to or better than Private Harry in the Galaxy. I have no doubt about that. And then he's come out and won at weight for age Group 1 level. So he's the best out of those two. So I can't have Private Harry on top of him. Jimmy Starr's a very good sprinter. His closing splits are elite. So he will be there, and he'll be there on Everest Day next year. And then beware the unbeaten horse. Like Private Harry has to be there somewhere. Jolie Starr, when she's at her best, she's good.
Yeah.
She's a
But
bit hit and miss, isn't she?
She has excuses usually in the
Yeah.
ones that she misses.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take much to go wrong to get her off her game.
Yeah.
So she needs things to go right. But she, at her best, she's definitely one of the best sprinters in the country. I think Headwall's an emerging sprinter.
Yeah.
Which I thought that he could have won a Galaxy. He was unlucky in a Oakley Plate, but they've decided to go down the weight for age route now. So he was unlucky. He didn't have the best of luck behind Jolly Star in a Newmarket, and then he's had no luck behind Jimmy Star and Overpass in an all age state or in a TJ Smith.
Yeah.
Was it Overpass? Did Overpass run in that TJ? Did he run second?
Yep.
And Briasa. Sorry, I've confused
Jimmy Star
those
was
two races.
flashing up.
Yeah, but he's measured up.
Yeah.
So
I can't believe,
surprised.
I don't know how he got
I'm
beat
very
in
surprised.
Benchmark 88 at Doomben.
You want to see him come back in another preparation and do it again.
Yeah.
Like it's
He's a little bit mythical at the moment for me. I'm just sort of thinking
like Shelby 66, that preparation.
Yeah, not just sort of as how on earth has that happened, but yeah, a little bit like that. I'd have the same top three, but I'd have my 1 and 2 switched around. I voted for Jimmy Star. I think that Oakley Plate win, like you don't see horses do that at Caulfield without being elite. And then he went to that William Reid around Moonee Valley where mad leaders bias that day. Schwartz, Benedetta, they were up there handy to the speed. Jimmy was out the back and like clear best closing splits. Similar sort of scenario in the TJ, I thought as well. I feel like that was a day that you didn't want to be too far back and too wide, which is where like Overpass Briasa was. Jimmy Star out the back, flashed home again, and then he got the better of Briasa in that all aged, and a few other sprinters there that sort of you would be close to being in the conversation. Obviously, Jolly Star ran second. Sunshine in Paris was there. Magic Time, like it was a good race.
Yeah.
And he gave them Winburn. So I put Jimmy on top. Briasa second, TJ Smith winner. Hard to sort of say that he's not in the conversation for the best sprinters in the land. And
I think Private Harry was good to the punters.
oh yeah, he's right.
I think it's the punters' power. So he's the one that
they keep winning. So
Yeah,
and I think in that
everyone likes the story.
it'll be interesting to see. Like you could have Tempted. She could be an Everest horse.
Oh yeah, like the Godolphin slot.
And then you've got like Lady Shenandoah.
Yeah. Lady of Camelot.
They're both untapped. Lady of Camelot has surprised me, like that she's stretched out. So I wouldn't think that she's an Everest horse. She's probably like not up to those sort of horses. I know she was only beaten a couple of lengths in the Everest last year, but that was probably a lesser version. And now she's ticked the box of stretching out beyond 1,400 metres, 1,500 metres. I think that they could potentially target a mile sort of race.
Yeah. Well, she was going to go to the Doncaster, so you'd probably expect Golden Eagle is probably the target.
That's the go.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, is the Golden Eagle, it's the same day as Derby Day, isn't it, the Golden Eagle? Like they couldn't go Empire Rose.
No, isn't Empire Rose? Oh, I'm not sure.
I think it is. I think it's same day as Derby Day and that. But yeah, plenty of options for
one or the other.
Yeah, that's right. Plenty of options for a good sprinter miler mare as a 4-year-old.
Like to own her.
A lot of early Everest chat too, which is nice. It's like you said, it's going to get.
And it's the Chairman's Sprint in Hong Kong on Sunday too, so we get to see Ka Ying Rising.
Oh yeah,
go around the Everest favourite, Mr. Brightside. Over there, I didn't realise Royal Patronage he's there as well in the mile race. So there's a bit of Aussie flavour over.
Apparently, Gay's over there too.
Is she? She'd live it up in Honkers.
I think she'd fit right in.
Yeah,
I think wherever she goes, she's
the darling of the turf.
Yes, I think I mentioned it before. In Royal Ascot, we were in the mounting yard, like because Rage had a ride in that, and like you have to be even in the section around the mounting yard, you have to be like top and tails. You have to have a very strict dress code, and there's Gay like in sneakers. Yeah, like probably $1,000 sneakers, but sneakers and colour. Yeah, shoes, just like pants and that. I'm like,
what a life.
Yeah, Gay get to do what Gay want to do.
Yep, that's right.
Punters, if you've been sitting on the fence, this is your sign. If you like the pod, if you like what the leg up does, make sure you get behind us and join members only. Over the last 3 Saturdays, our members only team has gone to the next level. We've had 15 tips. 6 winners. That's a 40% strike rate, and our longest price winner at $50. So average winning odds, that's $11.45. Total profit, 162.82 units. That's not luck. That's strategy, form, and finding value. If you want in, here's how. Use the code POD35 and you'll get 35% off your membership for the entire life of your subscription, not just a month, not just a trial all the way. This is the kind of momentum you want to ride with members only. Sign up today, punch in POD35, and let's keep rolling on with the winners. Now let's get into the tips.
At the 250, Nolan's got a stranglehold on Black Caviar. She looks at the 30,000 strong crowd and says, geez, I'm good. No, I'm not good. I'm the best you've ever seen in the world. Black Caviar, she's better than a perfect 10. She comes on, she's 20 out of 20. Black Caviar, full lengths. Great go for second.
One of the greatest race calls of all time, I reckon, that one. I don't know
What
who
a
the
call.
caller. I don't know who the caller was.
No,
You know,
neither do I.
2012. That was the Sangster Stakes, Black Caviar.
Who was? I wouldn't even know who the South Australian caller is now.
I think it's Brett Davis now, but that's not him because Brett was in Hong Kong, I reckon, at that time.
Yeah, right. That's a beauty.
Great call. Yeah.
I haven't remembered that.
I remember that race.
Yeah. That was
Second last race?
no, that was
that
that
early
was
days?
20. So she won 25.
Oh,
So she actually won that. She won the Goodwood, then she went overseas and then came back and had 2 runs back here or something, I think.
Yeah, she was great. I always she won a Memsey. That was the only time that they stretched her beyond 1,200 metres.
Yeah.
But she was great. I was at Randwick when she beat the good horse in the TJ. Haylist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he loomed to beat her too. I was a bit of a Black Caviar tail puller, to tell you the truth. I would say that I probably backed Haylist a couple of times to beat her,
Yeah.
and that was one day.
Yeah. And you never got it.
No,
Oh, well, Morpheville. So we're going to get to the Quokka. We've got 2 Group 1s in Adelaide. You know what? I had my bucks in Adelaide. Don't ask why. Ask Pat. But Adelaide's a good city, and I'm stinging to get back. And for me, Gather Round 2 weeks ago has cemented that I'm going back to Adelaide next year. It's a great town. Everything's close in together. There's good pubs, good clubs.
Yeah.
You got the Adelaide Oval is smack bang in the middle of town. So, and it's a great place to watch sport. Never been to the races there though.
Well,
lots of churches.
Yeah.
A lot of
city
churches.
One of my best mates, Bean, who's been on the show before, he raves about Morfordville every time it comes around to Goodwood Day. He talks about his time in Adelaide where him and his now wife were down there and it just happened to be Goodwood Day on the Saturday and they thought, oh, let's just go to the races. And he's like, $10 entry to get in on Group 1 race day. He goes, big grandstand. He goes, it wasn't packed or anything.
Yeah.
And he always talks about Craig Williams winning the last race of the day on Furyk. And so that's just the same story we got every Goodwood Day. But I was like, yeah, right, all right. So Goodwood Day's on the bucket list now, apparently.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Yeah, I've been to Morpheville once, but I actually think it was a Monday race day. It was really quiet. I know it was 12. I went on the Garn from Darwin to Adelaide, and
You went on the Garn.
yeah, with my grandparents.
Because there was a lot of things that he says.
What's the
that,
Garn?
It's the train from
ride.
Darwin to
Oh, yeah.
Adelaide, and you go through. But it
You
was
know,
twin.
I always say Nick's like a
Yeah.
70-year-old trapped in a 25-year-old's body. That's what a
I was
7-year-old
12.
would do.
Yeah, well, it was
12.
it was twin rooms. It was twin rooms, so it was grandma and granddad, and then I had to share a room with my poppy.
It seemed like a long trek.
It was only 3 nights, I reckon, on the train.
On the train.
3 nights on the train.
Yeah, something like
You
that.
stop?
That's a long trek.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
you sleep on the
stopped at-
train.
Yeah, you sleep on the train overnight. We stopped at Catherine, Alice Springs. It
Sorry.
wasn't bad. I'd do it again when I'm 60.
We're about to speak about the darling of Alice Springs soon.
I'm
Dakota
excited.
Yeah.
We head to Morpheville for the Australian Oaks, a Group 1 for the 3-year-old fillies, over 2,000 metres, and we have strong addition this year, boys, led by Tasmanian Oaks winner Cinch, Vinery Stud Stakes runner-up Bendigo, and last week's Mornington Guineas winner moving out. Interesting little tidbit. Colin, Peter and David Hayes have all won the Australasian Oaks as head trainer of Lindsay Park. This year, David's three sons, Benwill and JD, saddle up Cinch as they look for their first win in the race to complete the rare. Now,
I put that in there because I wanted you to say the word.
sextet?
Sextet, yeah.
Does that mean
It's a group of six.
six tuple?
Yeah, something like that.
There you go.
There you go.
The sextet.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have happened very
I've never
often.
heard that word before.
I don't think that's a word. I'm going to
had
be
to
fair.
Google
Nick
it.
wrote that.
The sextet.
A sextet, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have seen that very often. Like the grandfather, his two children, and then one of the children's three children.
Yeah, so-
all train the winner of one race.
Yeah, I probably should have-
Obviously, Cinch has to do it, but
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
yeah,
3 generations.
yeah.
I
Cinch.
wouldn't think that's outside of that family. You wouldn't think that there's been anyone to do it.
Like Cummings would be the closest, but yeah, like what race kind of thing.
What, James and Bart?
Well, and Anthony and Edward. There's a
Yeah,
few
but
of
they're
them.
brothers.
James and Edward are,
James and Edward.
and then
Anthony's the
son.
son. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's 3 generations.
Yeah, you're right.
Not really. You wouldn't see that in any other sport.
Yeah,
No,
not that I can think of.
very rarely.
Yeah. I think
Hey.
the SEN track crew, they all own Cinch. I think that's,
Oh, do
they
they?
own it. Yeah.
Hopefully, Brycey boy's got a big chunk of it. You know, our man over there,
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
top bloke. Hey, I did another little tidbit that I found just before we walked in here. Whoever wins this race, her connections will be hoping she can buck this trend. The last 4 Australasian Oaks winners have all gone on to combine for a record of no wins or placings in their 25 subsequent races.
Wow. Worse than the slipper curse.
Yeah. It's the Australasian Oaks curse.
Yeah. So the last 4 winners have never gone on and placed or won.
Place.
Again.
And there's 25
Is that like-
races there.
Yeah, right.
It's a good one, Woodhead.
That is a good one.
Couldn't tell you one of those horses.
Vibrant Sun last year, who, yeah, exactly. Who?
I don't know.
Did Meteor Award, remember she won one? That was that Chris Kelthorpe trained it. She was any odd price. Maybe when was Toffee Tongue for Wallace? Was she in that?
Geez, you're good. Yeah, Vibrant Sun, a fair, a Souverain.
Oh yeah, Busted.
They took it to the Queensland Oaks
Yeah.
afterwards, I reckon.
Yeah.
Glint of Hope, Meteor Award, Toffee Tongue.
Suppressor.
Egg Tart was probably the best of
Yeah.
the winners that I can see there in 2017.
Yeah.
But yeah, this might be a different edition because it seems pretty good.
It does seem pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Where are you?
I'm just cheering futures tickets. I've only got the one. I'm on Bendigo at $10.50 all in. So she's the favourite. But I think she just brings the A grade form. Like she was really good at the end of the spring in the 1,000 guineas behind like another Prophet and Aliana ran second in that race. And then this autumn campaign, she has been terrific. She came out, she won really well. Fresh, she beat home that horse of Philip Stokes's that'll be favourite for the Derby, Athanatos that day. So that was second up. So first up, she was just fair behind Treasure at the moment. And then, beat Athanatos second up. Then last start, she's a month between runs, but in that Vinery Stud Stakes, Sydney Group 1, she really served it up to Treasure at the moment. There were a few nervous moments if you're on the favourite that day, and then her class just kicked in, but she put a big gap on the rest of the field. So they've sort of directed their attention to this Group 1. They didn't worry about the Sydney Oaks. And I think even though she's drawn 13, I read something during the week that the last 3 or 4 winners have all come from double-figure barriers. So not too worried. Looks good speed. I think she'll be too classy.
Zara on.
Zara, yep. He's never ridden her before, I don't think, but good jock.
Yeah, he knows how to ride him.
He knows how to ride.
He knows how to ride him.
He knows how to ride a horse. So yeah, Bendigo for me.
BJ, who are you liking in the Australasian Oaks?
If I was to have a bet in the Australasian Oaks, I would be backing Polymnia. And it's fortunate that I do have a ticket on her already. So I'm happy to be with her. I thought she was very good in that Adrian Knox chasing home Belle de Tel. She had a chance to beat that horse because she just had her back, but they zipped home there. She actually had some of the better closing splits of the day. And then you can line her form up with the horse that you're tipping, Benagil, through Treasure the Moment, because Yu Wang's come out and Sun and Sand have come out and filled the Quinella in the Oaks. So the form out of that race is really good. Miss Alexis has come out and run well against the boys. So preliminary, they put her away and they've sent her to this race, bypassing that ATC Oaks. So I think she's very good. She's still on the way up. She had the tempo against last start. She's going to need a good ride from the wide draw, but I think she's really hard to beat. Moving Out is very good. She started shorter than Benagil behind Treasure the Moment. Two back when she was well beaten. Then she's come out, overcome the pattern of the day to get over the top of them out wide. So I think that she's going to relish the extra trip. Two-Darn Lizzie, I think she's relatively well found in the market. They went up
$15 on after the final field, and I thought, geez, that seems like big odds. Like, given she ran a couple of placings for Treasure the Moment, and then was a beaten favourite, and then next thing we look back, she's $4.50. I thought, oh, someone's found her.
Yeah, she's been very well backed. But yeah, I think. I don't know why she rolled off the fence last start at the Valley, but I think she was a little bit disappointing there. Back to the trials. 2,000 metres has to be a little bit of a question mark. But I think the market's got it relatively spot on.
I tell you who the blowout is, Blake. And only that I happened to watch the main Adelaide lead up a couple of weeks ago. I think it's the Aurora or something like that. And I backed her this day, All Kinds of Folk. I think she might have run last or second last in the VRC Oaks as a 100-to-1 shot. And then she won her maiden at Benalla over the mile by 12 lengths 2 starts ago. And then they went straight to that race at Morphettville. She didn't have much luck at all that day. Got a great ride, but was luckless, and probably would have beaten Cinch with even luck. And now she's double the price of Cinch. They've all drawn sort of wide the main chances, but I thought All Kinds of Folk up to 2,000 metres was a good roughie.
Okay.
Without knowing too much about him, just
a little bit
from what I saw.
A little bit of a
I like the fact that your tip, because they could have easily went to the ATC Oaks. Yeah. But they said, no, we probably can't beat Treasure at the moment. We'll head up here and focus our attention there. So, yep, I think the market is pretty spot on. I think Moving Out might be the best horse.
I made a comparison.
Going future.
I was talking to a mate about her because I didn't see the races on Saturday. I was out of not much reception, and I didn't even know she was in because I had a big ticket on her in the ATC Oaks and they didn't accept. And then she popped up at Mornington a week ago. And apparently the reasoning that they went back to the mile was she over-raced a lot too badly in that Vinery, and they wanted to come back in trip. And I thought Very Elegant was like that early on. Like, I'm not saying she's very elegant, but like there's a lot of similarities in the fact that she's come over from New Zealand with a bit of a spruik, and then just was too erratic to win over the staying trips, but had the staying pedigree. And if Chris Waller, who got Very Elegant after a few Australian starts, can get her to settle, maybe she's a staying star of the future if she can learn to relax. So
yeah, maybe she's a Caulfield Cup / Melbourne Cup winner.
2026 Caulfield Cup market and a 27.
I'll tell you what, if it's out, you'll find it.
I'll find it. I think bookies should start doing that. Just have the next 5 years futures markets, and you just add whatever horse, and they just price it up.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm excited for this race. I usually
for a South Australian Group.
Look, I've been critical of the South Australian Group 1.
Yeah,
but I think it's a really good addition. On to the Robert Sangster Stakes Group 1 weight for age for the fillies and mares over 1,200 metres. Boys, 3 of the last 7 winners of the Sangster have been 3-year-old fillies. This year, Amina, She's Got Pizzazz, and Jasmine Rouge are the 3-year-olds.
Yeah, I didn't mind Jasmine Rouge. I just realised she's been scratched literally an hour ago. So
Oh, right, okay.
only 2 of them will go around if you're pinning your hopes that way. But I reckon I've found a bit of a smoky here.
Okay.
The local mare, See You in Heaven for Richard and Chantel Jolly. She is just going to get the absolute run of the race from gate 3. She flies first up. Now, I know this is just stats, Blake, but she's never missed a place from 7 attempts at Morfordville, 4 wins. 2 of them have been first up this track and trip in the past 2 editions of the Group 3 Behemoth Stakes against the boys, and she's raced wide without cover in both of those and still proved a bit too good. So from gate 3, she's had 1 trial at Balaclava. She wasn't beaten all that far that day. It was a nice piece of work. I just think there looks good tempo in this. She's just going to land right behind them, get the first shot at them, give the locals something to cheer about.
It's a setup.
It's a setup. I reckon they've just gone because she's probably traditionally better at 1400 and maybe even a mile, but she's won her last 2. I think she's won her last 2 first up runs, and the other time she won first up was on debut as a 2-year-old. So asterisks. But
Tip her out,
yeah,
hide the trial.
I remember
ready
that
for a
first
Group
up
1
win.
run.
Yeah, it was pretty.
It was electric. It was
yeah.
pretty electric. I do remember it.
So that's where I'm at. And I thought She's Got Pizzazz for the 3-year-olds was a good each way hope.
Okay.
BJ, family connection in this race.
Yeah.
Number 12, Dakota Lee.
Yeah. She was like $15 in early markets this week. Yeah. And my mum called me and said, "Oh, can you have 200 each way on her
At
for
15.
me?" And I said, "No." Because she'll be 100 to 1 on Saturday.
Yeah,
But
she is 100 to 1.
Yeah, so my mum wants to have 200 each way on her. So
At 100 to 1.
yep, so we'll wait for Saturday.
Okay, so your uncle trains this horse.
My uncle trains
This is
her.
the pride of Alice Springs.
She's never been beaten under my uncle, so she's won 12 from 13. She's pretty good. She deserves her crack in this, and actually she probably shouldn't be 100 to 1 shot.
Was Savatu Excel trained out of Alice Springs or
He
Dart?
came from Alice Springs, I reckon.
and he
Yeah.
won.
Went
he won
back
in
there as
Goodwood.
well,
Goodwood,
I think.
yeah.
I think
So
he
it's
ended
not
up
like
there.
it's not like the Alice Springs
Savatoxel,
horses.
we call it on this
Savatoxel.
podcast.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Just-
what I always thought it was. But
Like just on pure ratings,
Yeah.
like I have no idea how to measure this form up. If she brings her best, which was first up this preparation, she would be about $11 chance.
okay. So
So, like, I don't think it's a bad bet, like
Yeah.
my mum's bet. Like, whether or not she can win or not,
No,
I
I'm going to be
don't
cheering
know.
home for Gale.
But yeah, I hope it wins. Be a good result for my mum. So
Is your cousin still, is she still riding?
yeah, she's not riding this
the
horse, but
namesake.
yeah.
Yeah. What, she, why
This is
is she
Group
riding
1.
it?
What?
Why isn't she riding it?
Because she's a 3 kilo claimer.
Okay, apprentices can't, they can ride
Well, I
this
don't
race,
know
they
if
can't
she-
claim.
Well,
don't-
Stan's had 10 goes on her for 10 wins.
Well, I don't know if she'd be allowed to ride
Yeah.
in the metro area.
Oh, okay. Yep. All right.
So
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure about the rules of like coming from Alice Springs to Adelaide, but I would suspect that she would have had to have had some provincial rides and not just thrown into the Group 1 deep end. Yeah.
Didn't realise Stan had the last 10 rides on. I thought
But Big Stan, yeah, he'll
got jocked.
He'll give
She's
it-
been
yeah.
back for Stan.
Yeah.
Well, last start, he gave her a sore back, and she still won. So
Yeah.
might not have been Stan's
Winning
fault.
form.
I haven't gone back and watched the replay.
You don't
but
do your Alice
watching
Springs
it
tapes.
live.
That was
I
enough.
was like, wow, that was a good win.
Despite.
I think Climbing Star can go back to back. Won this race last year from the outside draw, went back to last. Great ride. Lachlan Niendorf up the inside, got the job done, and then didn't have much luck in the Goodwood after that and still run third. Stretton Angel had no luck in this race last year. Wide and was good. There wasn't too much between those two. And then Stratton Angel was able to turn the tables on Climbing Star in the Goodwood. So there's not too much between those two, but I thought Climbing Star's first up run was really good behind Asfura. Tempo against, got back wide, closed off really hard, and that should set her up nicely to peak here. She draws much better than she did last year in barrier 7, and I think that she can win. Commemorative was good last start behind Infancy. That was a good result for some punters. Others who are on Commemorative, not so much, but she's good. She probably should have went close to winning in Galaxy. She had no luck there, and the market really liked her there. So I wouldn't be surprised if the market trends towards Commemorative because it seems to like her every time she goes around, and she's well placed in against her own sex. And the one that you mentioned, She's Pizzazz, that was a good win last start.
Yeah. I didn't see like that race on Saturday with like the main sort of form race, but I think like Lilac came out of that race and won. And
Clean Energy had no luck.
Right. Okay.
Subsequently.
Yeah.
And the market trended towards them. They were all firm in that market. So, she can measure up for sure.
Yeah, Moods probably wouldn't sort of throw her right in the deep end either if he didn't have a bit of an opinion of her. Like he seems to place his horses pretty well.
Yeah, probably concern. Not that it's a concern. She's only had 3 preparations and she's only got 3 runs out of all 3 of those preparations. And I think that like that win in Sydney was a real target race for Moods. So whether or not she can go grand final, that would be the concern. But Moods is the man.
His other horse is going well too. Roll on High. I've been a bit of a sucker for her since
I've been
she
a
won
sucker
that.
for her too.
Yeah, she won that Fred Best up here and just keeps running well, but not winning.
2 good races.
Yeah.
I think like since they pumped up the prize money, we're starting to see a couple of good horses come
and
down.
like I reckon any Group 1 where it's $6 the field and sort of like plenty of chances, like neither of us have really landed on the same horse there. Like not that we've really had a big deep dive into it, but like we've come up with 6 different horses.
These are good betting races.
Great betting race. And if you like a couple and you're that way inclined for your trifectas or your same race multis, etc., there's money to be won.
Well, that Sangster Stakes, it can throw up a 50-1 winner.
Yeah, I reckon like Bella Vella was 40s a couple of years ago.
Climbing Star was 20-1 last year.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so there's already 2.
Definitely.
Black Caviar just averages it back out a little bit. Sprite, she would have been good odds.
I wouldn't be like even the Australasian Oaks. It can throw up a big price winner as well.
I reckon that Media Award was 60s. Yeah. Quokka time.
Quack Dog.
Quokka.
Stole our term?
I think Quokka, like the Western Trilogy. They've got the Quokk caps.
And that was the name of it.
That was the name of our Quokka episode last year or the year before.
Dogs.
There's only been 2 of them, but what the Quokk, Blake?
That's a good name. Well done.
Thanks.
Thank you. Who said it? You or me? You, probably.
No, I'm not sure. It was before ChatGPT, so it wasn't it.
Well, we're heading west to the Quokka, a $5 million slot race over 1,200 metres. Overpass and Amelia's Jewel have run the Quinella in its first 2 runnings. We now head to the 3rd edition of the Quokka. And unsurprisingly, Overpass is our favourite. It's the Prince of Perth. 2 Quokkas.
It's the king.
2 Winterbottoms.
Or is Bjorn the king?
Oh, Bjorn's the king. Bjorn. He would be.
I think Ben Cousins is the king.
Bjorn's over there. I saw a reel on his social media, and their social is so good. It's his wife Andrew that does that. But like him, a car's pulling up to pick him up, and it's one of those big Rams.
Oh yeah,
and it's the Ram crew that own the Overpass. So I'd say just this week leading up, someone from the ownership saying, "Hey Bjorn, come have a quick spell, a little freshen up." We'll have someone pick you up in the big car. And I think later in that video, like he's driving the Ram and got like a beachfront thing. So I reckon knowing Bjorn, a break for him would be completely detrimental. He would be a proper box walker. He would be going mad, wanting to get back to it. And he would have been absolutely hammering Hildo and the rest of the crew over there and Lobby. So
he's got a big. He needs a bit of a freshen up because it'd be a big couple of weeks for him. He's obviously over in Perth this week, and then he's just been announced For next weekend as the guest speaker at the Archer Calcutta luncheon up in Rocky because he's got 2 horses.
Oh, yeah, he's got Iona Merck
and Sandpaper now. He's
Sandpaper.
also got a slot. So I'm a bit disappointed. Like last year it was Barbara Joseph. So that was a good yarn, and Damien Oliver. But
who's Barbara Joseph?
Like trains Sun and Sand. Barb and the boys out of
Barb
camp.
and the boys.
Oh, Barb and the boys.
Barb and the boys. She had a few great stories.
She nearly got a Group 1 winner.
Yeah.
Sun and Sam.
Son of Sam.
But I reckon Bjorn
It's a
would be
hot
he'd be a very good listen at a luncheon, especially
Yeah.
with a few beers under his belt.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah.
He's it's they probably don't need a mic.
Probably not.
They probably won't need a microphone.
Well, I know Hildo invited us into the winning owners room after that horse Renaissance Woman won the last.
Oh, yeah.
on Everest Day. And the race sponsor was like James Squire, so that was all the beers was like the 150 lashes.
Oh, yeah.
And part of Björn's like speech in the winning owners room was thanks to James Squire for coming over here and the hard yards with the shackles so that we can drink this beautiful beer. It's like
That is you can't deny he's such a good character.
So I'm sure that'll be
that'll
good
be fun Archer lunch.
Yeah. But
We were
got a
planning on
corker
going up
first.
there.
We were. Yeah.
Blake said no.
Blake, cold water on it. Nah.
He cancelled our expense
get him up
accounts.
there.
We'll get him up to the Rocky one
Rocky
day.
Cup, we'll get him up there, maybe.
No.
Well, should we get into this corker?
Beef week.
Beef week. Yeah.
No, we'll go with the
have
Archer.
a
We're
good
going to go. Let's do it around a race day.
I think Beef Week was last year, so it's 2 years away.
Oh, no.
Huh?
It's like the Olympics.
But Beef Week,
What is this true?
Beef Week's every 3 years.
How come?
It always has been.
Where does it go the other 2 years?
Oh, it's still always the beef capital, but like Beef Week is like the actual.
yeah, because
Show.
they've got to grow they've got to
cows.
let the cows grow.
Just a group of that is 3-year-olds. They're gone. There's no 4-year-old cows in.
Yeah. But, well, apparently not.
There's no 4-year-old
But
cows in.
Beef Week
Rocky.
ties in with Archer because it goes Archer on the Sunday, public holiday Monday, and then it's Beef Week.
Public holiday, Queensland. Okay,
Yeah,
I was just wanted to check if Rocky was sneaking in their own public holiday
It's
for
not
the
like
Archer.
Melbourne. It's not like Melbourne Cup Day.
Beef Week.
No,
Do
no.
they announce a Beef Week princess?
Oh, potentially.
They would.
I've met.
Yeah.
I personally.
Well, there
knew
was a horse
the-
called Beef Week Princess.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I personally
Trained at a
knew
casino.
the casino Beef Week princess.
Yeah.
So,
She's like, that's like
Royalty.
Princess Mary, like not really the royal family.
but it's the one you like.
yeah.
Yeah, casino
guess.
over Rocky.
Yeah.
Okay, overpass is $2 here. What are we doing? Head wall. It's a good race. How many slots are there?
I think it's 13.
13.
Yeah.
What are you liking, Nick?
I'm not much of a Perth racing man, but like Overpass has just been dominant in 4 wins over there.
Very
like
hard
track
to look
and trip.
around it.
Very hard to look
The
around.
price
it.
is going to force us to, though.
Yeah, like he's probably as short as you could get him. I think like he was around that 350 mark when he won the Winterbottom over there at the end of the spring. I think a horse like Western Empire for Pikey and Grant and Alana Williams, like he's always been a really good horse. First up, he might want a little bit further than 1200, but this would have been the race that they've set him for. He won did he win the Gold Rush, I think, is what he won at the end of the spring. So he's going to be thereabouts. Joker's Grin, I believe, goes pretty good. He was he dead heated with the Boss Lady a fortnight ago in the Roma Cup, but protest got fired in and he lost that one. So that's
What
probably
price is Western Empire?
$850 I'm looking at.
Yeah, that seems like a good price to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Because he started $4.40 in the Winterbottom,
Yeah.
and Overpass started $3.20.
Yeah.
And then he came out a start later and won that Gold Rush. So yeah, Western Empire, that's a good find.
Yeah.
I can see that.
7-year-old, that's maybe the little knock, but
Not really. Well, yeah, I understand that, but
Right.
he's a last start winner.
Yeah.
It's not like he's got to recapture
yeah, it's not like he's
old
got to be
form or
trying to find
anything
his
like
4-year-old
that.
form. So, and he had a long time off. Like he's only relatively lightly raced. He's had 28 starts. So
Who was in that Gold Rush?
Did Western Empire?
Super Smink? That was off the back of good prep with that Super
Yeah,
Smink.
she would have.
Did
run
he
in
win
the
a
rail.
railway or something like
Yeah,
that?
he bolted in as a 3-year-old in the rail. If it wasn't the railway, it was the Northerly. But like he was like they were talking him up as like Cox Plate horse 12 months later kind of thing. Like he was he was going to be the real deal.
Jet early days. Yeah, I remember.
Might have won like his first 7 or something like that.
Hard to go past Western Empire of the locals. Also,
yeah, I think so.
And Pikey on board.
Like the three Eastern Siders are the top 3 in betting, Overpass, Headwall and Front Page. So
you know what they say, Pikey in the 8th race.
that's what they reckon.
That's what they
Especially
say.
if there's not a 9th or a 10th.
Yeah, it makes more sense that way.
Yeah.
Overpass is hard to beat. There's no knock on him. He's a good horse, great horse, very good horse. Love to own him. What's he earned? 10 million in prize money.
Like backtracking after he said that Overpass shouldn't be.
No, he did say he'd love to own him in that little segment as well.
I know, but now he's just
If he
a
wins a
little
third
bit more-
quokka, does he become one of the best sprinters of all time?
No,
of all time.
he becomes the best Western Australian sprinter of all time.
Yeah.
I think.
Sydney-based Western Australia.
I reckon Headwall can beat him
I knew you were going there, BJ. Why Headwall?
because he's just flying. He's just red hot. He brings in very good form. Like he was great in the Oakley Plate. He should have finished much closer to Jimmy Starr. And then he's gone to Flemington in a race that I didn't think he could win, and he's chased home Jolly Star. And then he's gone to the TJ, and you could argue that he should have beat home Overpass there. You're asked to take $2 about Overpass when you're asked to take $6 about Headwall. I think there's too much between them.
If this race was not in Perth,
If it wasn't the quokka.
no, like still say it was the quokka. Say it was a bit of All-Star Mile vibe by the track location changes, right?
Right, okay.
And this race was in Sydney, but you had this exact same field. Like do you reckon they would be closer? Like is Overpass just like
They have
this
to- they would
$2
have to
favourite
be
because
closer.
of that Perth factor? Like he's been there 4 times and he's
Has to be.
won them all. Like
They would have to be closer.
Do you have what
Even though
Headwall opened at? I reckon it was even more.
No, I don't think so. Maybe in final field he opened a little bit more, but I think like they didn't because he wasn't in markets prior to getting a slot. So when he got a slot,
put
he
him
might
in,
have
like,
went in at $10
11
or something like that.
yeah,
I don't get it either. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think it's the
it's the Perth tax.
it's the quack factor.
the quack factor.
Well, the
That'll
only
be like a
thing
hat
you can
next
say
to
that
you.
Overpass started $5 in that TJ and Headwall started $31. But
Yeah.
Headwall is on the way up. And like if you just looked at those two on that last start performance, there was nothing between them.
Yeah, there you go.
How do they travel them to Perth? Do they go on the train? The Garn? Do they go on the
No,
Garn?
it's the Indian Pacific.
Oh, sorry, do
across
they go
the
on the
Nullarbor.
If anyone's going to know.
I reckon they'd fly them.
They fly 'em. Yeah,
Do they?
yeah. It's a long way.
Yeah, imagine
Yeah, you couldn't be on the train for.
a float or a train.
How long will the train take?
Week.
Looking at you.
I think it's 4 days.
All right, so they'd fly them. Okay.
But that's from Melbourne. So you still got to get them to Sydney.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Sydney to Melbourne.
Yeah. You reckon the flight would be such a different experience for them? Like how?
Well,
how
I think they sedate them to fly them because if anything happens on a plane, they have to put them down.
What do you mean if anything happens to
Like
the horse
If
or
they're
to the plane?
Like
well,
if they
they're
went,
700 kilos, some of them. So, like, if they are going off in a plane and a chance of, like,
Right, rocking the plane.
rocking the plane, then they can't have that.
They just put them down.
Yeah, I think that that's the case.
Oh, that's horrible.
Well, I don't
Surely
think
not.
it happens very much. I don't think it
Imagine
happens.
if we got someone
But I
come
think
through the
that that's-
socials like, I'm the guy that has to have the gun.
I'm the horse.
underneath.
I'm the horse neutralizer.
I'm the horse
I'd be
guy.
very surprised if they don't sedate them.
Yeah. Well, they're in those
Yeah,
big
of course.
floats now.
Imagine takeoff or landing, like when they stop.
Yeah.
How would they? Sorry, I've got an image. Like, how would they stack them in, or they lay them down? What do they do?
No,
No,
they're
they'd
in like
be-
big float. Like they're in like a horse
float
float almost.
plane.
yeah, but if they're sedated,
No, they don't. They can. You can still stand, and they.
but
Like
then
they just
okay. So this is
can't.
what I'm saying. Like, so if you're sedated, and the plane lands, and you're a fucking horse that's never been on a plane before, don't you think the horse is just going to fall over?
I reckon they'd have a strapper with it.
They do, yeah. I think so. I think they got
I
a
need to
guy
know
in there.
this.
Yeah. Maybe
You
we
know what I
get
can ask?
Hilda.
Jeff Allendorf.
Yeah.
That's what he's
you know,
doing.
We'll have to get him on to discuss the travel of horses
Sort
on
of
the plains.
myth.
That would be a
busted or not.
thrilling podcast if we got Jeff on. Hopefully Jeff listens to this.
I'm sure.
Oh, I want to know now. The logistics doesn't make sense in my head.
That'd be
that.
very interesting. I remember like when Black Caviar went overseas, like they had like a super suit for her.
Yeah.
Like that was
Like the Kathy Freeman wore.
yeah, proper. Like that was, it was that kind of vibe. It was head to toe, and it was all her own like branding on it. It had a Southern Cross on it. It was pretty cool.
Oh, for deep vein thrombosis, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, something like that.
That's I don't know. I need to get to the bottom of this. Yeah, I'm with you, Blake.
I've just
I
Googled
think
it,
head
and
walk.
it says that horses are not generally sedated for routine air travel.
There you go. So just skip
Fucking
that
further
last-
away from the answer now.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know.
Oh, I want to find out. I'm gonna
surely
call Jeff.
there's got to be something.
We'll
like-
do
Jeff in
some
the car
more.
on the
We'll
way
do,
out.
we'll do a little bit more research.
We'll
I wanna
come back.
know.
Episode 1, season 7.
Yeah.
We'll
Well, if Headwall travels well,
I think he's fine,
yeah, I think
especially
it's a
since
good
he
bet.
hasn't been sedated.
And he's been well. He is well travelled. Like he's been up to Brisbane, down to Melbourne, and back up to Sydney. So
None of them would be on a plane.
nah, but he knows what it's about.
Yeah, he just thinks it's the same flight. Except it's
Yeah.
on a. They've driven me onto a plane.
Well, when they get on the plane, they don't know
Yeah.
it's still got wheels.
Yeah.
They think
Like,
it's
what's those things out the window there? The big long things on the side. What's that?
Why can't I see out of this?
Oh, good. Glad we got to the bottom of that.
yeah.
Uh,
Sort of.
Any from around the grounds?
Not really, to be completely honest. Like it is a good day of racing in Brisbane. I think there's 4 listed
We're not going to
races.
get to it. It's hammering outside.
Well, that's going to be the only bet that I might have in Brisbane is if it is really wet. The horse that William Haggis bought over here that is now with Annabelle Neesham, Elmer Beer,
is he in up here?
he's in up here in a listed race.
He's in Sydney as well.
Oh, is he? So I thought they might sort of target the wet. But the Neesham does have Port Lockroy favourite in this, so maybe they'll go to Sydney. But it might even be wet in Sydney, I'm not sure. But
I think so.
he was one that I sort of thought,
I can see that. Done nothing in 2 Australian starts, so
yeah,
Nick finds you.
Sends him to
right.
Brisbane.
up to Brisbane.
Yeah, that's the Queensland form.
Yeah.
You get
Well,
beat 10
there
lengths
was
in
a
Sydney,
horse
come up here and win.
Yeah, there was a horse I reckon that was like that last year in a race similar to this, and it was like, how have you done that? Oh, My Oberon. It was the exact same.
My Obi.
No, not My Oberon. The other one in those colours that I was backing all the time. Mighty Ulysses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He did.
He's
have-
a wet tracker.
he had 2 awful runs, then he came up and towed up Jimmy Star.
That's good form.
There you go.
Yeah. So
You'll have nothing.
I don't have anything yet, no. There's too many acceptances and too many races and too many
yeah.
dual acceptors. I'll just wait for Saturday. Become a member. You'll get my tips.
Yeah, become a member. And for the members listening, we have a very special announcement. It's our giveaway. So we did a Group 1 tipping comp over and if you're not a member, you listen to this, another reason to be involved. We did a Group 1 tipping comp over the Autumn Carnival. And you got points for how many tips you got, right selections you got. And then that week, so there was weekly prizes of...
So 50% off your next payment because we're all out of merch. So
Oh, yep.
that's where-
Okay.
That's sort
We
of
did merch. We had some merch going
early
didn't
on.
we?
Yeah. Like the first week or
merch
two.
and then 50% off. Beautiful.
Yeah, so basically, like if there was 4 Group 1s and 6 people tipped 3 of them, those 6 would go into this draw, and then there would be a weekly draw out of those 6, and one of them would win the weekly prize, but all 6 are in.
But all 6 would go into
this draw.
The draw for the Autumn Carnival, and the prize was $500 cash and a yearly membership.
Yeah, great prize.
That's a great prize. We nailed it with that one.
Yeah.
Everyone liked that.
That's right. Valued more than $1,000. So a fill up on top of what has already been a fruitful Autumn Carnival. So
So what? Are you just going to press the thingy?
yeah, I'm going to press the thing. We've got 30 entries in here. So we'll do this now. Of course, you've got to be an active member. So if this winner isn't an active member, we'll touch base in our members chat. But
Yeah, you'll get nothing.
You'll get nothing, and we'll do it again.
Keep supporting the boys. Come on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, good luck to all the people
Good
who
luck
got
to
into
everyone.
that
30.
draw.
So let's get a little bit of it going on. I'll put it on here so that the punters can see it.
So if you're listening to this and you do win,
The
get in
wheel's
touch.
just been spinning.
Yeah. The wheels are spinning.
We got Dan2302. So that's their Discord username.
Dan2302.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Do you reckon his
Danny boy.
birthday's February 23?
I would say that.
That'd be a good guess.
Good on you, Danny boy.
Good on you, Dan. So if you're an active member, Dan, we'll be in touch and we'll get that all
Or his
sorted.
birthday is the 2nd of March 2002. I forget people are born in the 2000s.
Yeah, true, because he'd be 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on you, Dan.
Great
on you,
work.
Dan.
That's a good
Well played.
prize. That's worth about...
Good tipping, brother.
Oh, shit. Yeah, well done. Good tipping. So, yeah, if you want to get involved in the next Group 1 tipping comp, make sure you join members only. If you want to join members only, make sure pod 35.
Yeah.
And that's it for us, guys. We're going to have a 2-week freshen up. We're going to be back rip-roaring ready for the winter racing carnival up here in the sunny state.
Yep. Doomben 10,000 days straight off the bat. One of the great days.
I'm excited.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
A few exciting things coming up for next
Yep.
series.
Yeah.
It's all happening, punters.
Beauty.
Get involved. Hawkesbury, Gosford, and then Scone in the next 3 weeks.
Yep.
Great racing.
Goodwood Day, South Australian Derby Day in Adelaide. So if you want our tips still, jump on board. The pub picks have got them on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So plenty
Best
of tips
value,
around. Quaddies. Top 4 in every race. You can't beat it on a Saturday.
Yeah, it is actually the ideal way to enjoy your Saturday on the punt. See you soon.
See you, punters.
Hooray. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.